Well, ladies and gentlemen, they've done it again, man. They have done it again. The reigning champions of the Champions League, Paris Saint-Germain, have officially cemented themselves as Champions League finalists once again. As today, they travel away to the Allianz Arena to face Bayern Munich for the second leg of the semi-finals, in which the game ends 1-1, but get past Bayern on aggregate as the overall tie ends 5-6 in favor of Paris Saint-Germain. Another final for PSG and another final for Luis Enrique, where now they're going to face the Arsenal on May 30th to see who will be the champion of this year's Champions League, man. But wow, what a game we saw today, and just what an overall time, man. Just a round of applause from this overall tie between two of the best teams in Europe, like we've been saying throughout this whole week and basically throughout this whole season, because of the style of football that they play, the quality they have. The two best teams in Europe, either team could have reached the final, but today Paris Saint-Germain were the better team and get over the line to reach the final once again. Will Paris Saint-Germain go back-to-back Champions Leagues, or will Arsenal win the first ever Champions League? We'll see on May 30th, but it's a very interesting storyline right there for sure. But talking about this overall time, man, again, Paris Saint-Germain, we're definitely going in with an advantage with a 1-goal lead after the first leg ends 5-4. So Paris Saint-Germain going in with a bit of an advantage for sure. So Bayern Munich had to step up in this game from the get-go, and we saw that clearly wasn't the case for sure. But listen, if I was to describe this game in one word for Paris Saint-Germain, was just professional, man. Professional win from a team that has been there, done that have mentality monsters of knowing how to get over the line as much as a manager as well. And today they did everything perfectly to get over the line and reach a final once again. Of course, there were some controversies throughout this game, especially with the referee making some questionable decisions for sure. But overall, I think Paris Saint-Germain deserved it. They defended very well when they needed to. They get a very early goal to bring the advantage even further for them and just get over the line. Bayern Munich just didn't do enough to get to the final this year. But before we get into the actual game, let's just quickly talk about the decisions from the referee, because I know that's going to be the main topic after this game, because, you know, this overall tie ends by just one goal after Harry Kane scores for Bayern Munich very late into the game, almost, you know, giving them some hope, but at that point it was game over for sure. But looking at overall the decisions that the referee made this game, I thought there were definitely some poor decisions the referee made. You know, some fouls that he called in favor for Paris Saint-Germain, which I didn't understand, like a foul on Harry Kane in the second half and a foul on, like, close to the edge of the box on Luis Diaz, which I don't understand how he's like right there, how he didn't call that in favor for Bayern. But those for sure, like, just bad decision making right there. But the ones that are the most controversial were the handballs, right? The one from João Neves and the one from Nuno Mendes. Now, I went on Twitter to really get people's opinions and really see it, because I was confused, especially the João Neves one, because when you clearly see it, it's clearly a handball as Vitinha tries to clear the ball and it hits João Neves' arm, right? So it's a handball every single day of the week. Now, is it enough to be given? Is it fair enough to be given? Because, you know, giving a penalty at this stage, you know, it's big, right? It's big. And the referee decided to not give it to as a penalty. Now, it comes down to interpretation, right? I'm assuming the referee just looked at it as like, yo, Vitinha tried to clear the ball. It was unintentional. You know, João Neves just reacts like any other person would, because, you know, the ball coming near his body, coming near his face. He wants to protect himself. He just naturally reacts, puts his arm out by accident, and boom, it hits his arm, right? So I'm guessing the referee just interpreted it as it's not enough. I'm not giving that. If Bayern Munich had cleared the ball or tried to kick the ball or something like that in the way that Vitinha did, and it hits João Neves' arm, clearly it's a penalty. But considering it came from his own teammate, the referee decided, all right, no, not a penalty. Now, the second handball on Nuno Mendes, that one, I think it was a handball and probably should have gotten a second yellow, as Nuno Mendes picked up an early yellow card, and that could have completely been a game changer if PSG went down to 10 men for sure, even though they already scored it 3 minutes in, right? Already up 2-0. But looking at it, again, looking at different angles, the referee decided to call a handball on Leimer instead of Nuno Mendes, as earlier as Leimer made an interception, the referee saw that it hit his arm instead, and he called that instead of the handball on Nuno Mendes. Again, looking at the angles, one angle shows that it potentially touched Leimer's arm, and then the other angle shows that it didn't touch his arm. So I don't know which one is real. I'm looking at it more as the one that didn't touch his arm, because it looked like it touched his like lower, you know, abdomen right here, and then boom, bounces off his body and then lands forward, and then that's where Leimer kicks the ball and it hits Nuno Mendes' arm. Now, to say that it was going to give as a second yellow card for Nuno Mendes, it definitely could have been, because that was a clear opportunity for Bayern to go in a dangerous attack. He was going to send Olise through, and Nuno Mendes stops it with his hand. You know, that definitely could have been given as a second yellow card, but the referee decided not to. But I don't know. There are definitely some decisions that the referee I thought made that was poor. Some fouls that Bayern Munich should have definitely won. But besides that, again, Paris Saint-Germain just did everything they needed to do to get the win today, and they a perfectly executed game to reach this year's final, especially after they scored 3 minutes in. Like, we were already going into this game 1-0 for Paris Saint-Germain after how the first leg ended. So Bayern Munich already had an uphill battle, but getting scored on that early and that easy of a manner, man, I thought I was watching Barcelona of the highline that we play of how easy teams will break us down and get and run just through us as Kvaratskhelia and Fabian play easy 1-2. Fabian feeds Kvaratskhelia through. Kvaratskhelia finds Ousmane Dembele, crosses the ball into Ousmane Dembele all by himself, and Dembele right there from that angle, from that area with no pressure on him. Come on, bro. He's not missing that. He scores a very early goal for Paris Saint-Germain to basically go up 2-0. And an even more uphill battle for Bayern Munich now to make a remontada and potentially reach this final, man. But looking at the overall game, I thought it was a pretty even matchup. I thought either team probably could have gotten a little bit more from this game. If I were to give one team to definitely get more from this game, I would have said Paris Saint-Germain, because Bayern Munich today, going forward, I just don't think they did enough. I know some people are going to say Paris Saint-Germain, we're parking the bus and everything, but like, listen, bro, you have a 2-0 advantage. Why would you not defend that lead? Why would you not protect that lead? Why would you take more risks than needed to when you have a 2-0 advantage? You're just not going to do that. That's what any smart team and any smart manager. That's why I said it was a professional win for Paris Saint-Germain. Teams that know what to do to get over the line. Not play more risks than needed to, right? So you could call it parking the bus. I call it playing it smart. They did everything they need to do to shut down any options for Bayern Munich. In the first half, Bayern Munich had a couple of opportunities. I wouldn't see anything clear cut though. Nothing clear cut to really test the goalkeeper. Olise takes a shot that just goes over the bar. Luis Diaz takes a shot but curls it high. Musiala takes a shot with his left foot, weak foot, yes, but hits it too soft. Easy save for Sofanov. And Musiala, another opportunity, skies it over. But nothing clear cut. Nothing clear cut. They were attempting, they were trying, giving some promise to PSG's defense, but PSG were defending very well, and the shooting boots were just not on for Bayern Munich, man. This is where players must elevate themselves, take their level to another level and be like, all right, I need to be a clutch player at this moment. Let me score this opportunity. Let me score these goals, because when you're going up against a PSG side who are going to give you minimal options, minimal opportunities, you have to take them. And Bayern Munich just didn't do that today, especially in that second half, man, because that second half was awful from Bayern Munich, man. They just looked like they dropped the level. I don't know what happened to them in the second half. Olise was pretty poor in the first half, even worse in the second half. He practically did nothing in the second half. Luis Diaz, I'll give him props for attempting. I'll give him props for trying, but nothing really clear cut came from him as well. Like, he didn't really take any shots. You know, he attempted, but there were just so many PSG players in front of him. He was there getting defended the whole time. Just not enough from Luis Diaz. Harry Kane, his first shot on target, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that was his first shot on target the whole game was the goal, if I'm not mistaken, bro. Because he barely shot this game, and any type of shot that he tried, yeah, shots on target won. Yeah, the first shot on target he took this game was the goal, man. That just tells you that lack of opportunities for Harry Kane today, practically non-existent in the box, and the one time he gets it was just a little bit too late. A little too late for Bayern Munich for sure. They scored in the 94th minute, which hyped them up a little bit. You know, it was funny because the cameraman was showing they showed Dembele's reaction, and Dembele was like, "Oh shit, what happened here?" But it was just a little too late, man, for Bayern Munich right there. But yeah, Bayern Munich practically did nothing in the second half. An excellent defensive performance there from Paris Saint-Germain to get over the line. And again, they could have gotten more from this game for sure. Manuel Neuer had to come up with some big saves. Doué in the second half was so dangerous, creating chances after chances, almost getting a goal himself. Kvaratskhelia as well. And Neuer comes up big for for this embarrassment, for not to be an embarrassment for Bayern Munich for sure. But in the end, Paris Saint-Germain get over the line with an excellent defensive performance and doing what they needed to do to get over the line. Where again, Bayern Munich, I just thought they didn't do enough. They didn't do enough. And quickly going over the individuals, the players that impressed me a lot from Paris Saint-Germain was Zaire Emery. I'm sorry if I'm saying his name wrong. Zaire Emery was excellent. Gibbs Kvaratskhelia, bro, incredible as well. Fabian Ruiz, I thought was excellent as well. Pacho in that second half was great defensively. He put in some great tackles, shutting down Bayern Munich's attack for sure. Doué, much better in that second half. Dembele, I wouldn't give him a man of match performance or anything. Comes up big with the clutch goal for sure, but nothing really spectacular from him. But Zaire Emery, impressive performance from him, and Joao Neves as well. Like he had a very impressive performance too. I really liked how they performed today. Vitinha did great as well. Controlling the game as much as he could for PSG, dropping deep because we saw that Nuno Mendes, Pacho, and Marquinhos was basically drop into a back three, and Zaire Emery would basically go in as another midfielder, an extra midfielder, and just great tactical play from Luis Enrique. He really studied Vincent Kompany's team very well. He's like, yo, if you guys want to put the pressure on us, play high against us, go ahead. We'll play an easy little 1-2. We have the talent, we have the players capable enough of breaking you guys down. So come at us if you want, but. They played it safe ball in the second half for sure and throughout this game after they got their early goal. But yeah, excellent performance from everyone from PSG. Like, you really can't say anyone was like particularly bad or anything. Maybe Marquinhos was a little bit difficult, had some difficult moments, but besides that, everyone did great. Everyone did great. From Bayern Munich, Leimer, I really like Leimer's performance. He's a great player. Upamecano, solid as well, even though, they got a pretty easy goal the way they did. Kvaratskhelia getting away from them a little bit too easily, but besides that, I thought he did pretty well, especially to make some good recoveries. Stanisic did pretty well against Due in the first half. Not terrible, but not too much going forward whatsoever. Luis Diaz, I like the effort. Jamal Musiala, I don't know what happened to this kid, man. He was such a baller before. I know he suffered through an injury throughout this whole season. It was difficult for him, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because of that. Hopefully next season he steps up, but nothing from him. He got a little bit better towards the last 5 minutes of the first half, but second half just nowhere near good enough. Pavlovic did decently defending. Kimmich didn't deliver as much as you would want him to deliver, putting those great balls like we're used to seeing from him, but I'll give them credit for trying, but it just wasn't enough from Bayern, man. It just wasn't enough for them to get over the line today, and nothing spectacular from Bayern. And again, Paris Saint-Germain deservingly get to the final. They did everything they needed to do to get over the line today. A professional win from them, and deservingly are Champions League finalists once again. And after this performance, after this overall tie, I'm saying confidently right now, they're winning the Champions League back to back, bro. Like, I'm sorry, Arsenal. It's not even just to like disrespect Arsenal or anything, but this team is just too good, bro. They're just too good. They have such an intelligent manager like Luis Enrique that knows how to adapt in certain situations, knows how to set up his team well to go up against these big teams, against these teams that obviously make it difficult for you. And I just don't see how Arsenal could be classified in any sort of way as better than this team. Maybe probably defensively in certain individuals like Saliba and Marquinhos are a better pairing than Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes are a better pairing than Marquinhos and Pacho. You could probably say that, but besides that, throughout the overall pitch, throughout the overall quality, PSG got it over them, man. They just got it over them, and clearly a team and a manager that have done it already. Been there, done that. So we'll see on May 30th, but I think everyone is putting their life insurance, their life savings on Paris Saint-Germain to go back to back, and Arsenal just being there for just for the love of the game, just being there because they made the final, but not to really win it, boys. But yeah, guys, my overall man of the match, I'd give it to either Kvaratskhelia. He was incredible today, man. He's just, oh my god, I wish he was at Barca. Or Zaire Emery, man. Zaire Emery I thought was great today. I thought he was fantastic today. That's who I would give my man of the match. But you guys let me know in the comments, who would you give the man of the match to? What you guys thought about this overall game? What you guys thought about the overall tie? An incredible overall tie from both teams. Both teams deserve to get to the final. For Paris Saint-Germain came out on top today. And again, we'll see on May 30th who will be the winner of this year's Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain going back to back, or Arsenal winning their first ever Champions League. We'll see on May 30th. We will definitely be there for sure, guys. But make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, hit the notification bell for every time we upload. Share to your friends who love football. And I'll see you guys in the next video whenever it is. Much love. Take care. God bless you all. And peace.